Welcome to part 2 of my project to make a mounting plate that will fit onto a standard mic stand. Part 1, we made the part that will actually attach the mic stand and printed it out, made sure the threads actually match the threads on the mic stand. So that's looked after. So let's make the rest of the parts. So now we're going to build the arm. I think it's called an arm, I don't know, but I'll call it an arm. So let's get to work here. Back in Fusion 360, first thing we're going to do here is go to Assemble, make a new component, and we'll call this the camera mic arm. Done. And let's look at the top here, and I'm not going to create a sketch for this one because it's a few simple objects. I'm going to start with the sphere. And we're going to make this 9 millimeters. Why 9? Why not? So that's our first component here. Next, we're going to make another item here. We'll call this a cylinder. And I'm guessing 4 millimeters. There's no science behind this at all. That's the diameter, and now the length. So the length, when I align these, they'll be aligned to the center of the sphere. So the sphere's 9 millimeters. It means the center is 4.5. There's going to end up being 2 cylinders. So that's 9 millimeters of this cylinder just being inside the spheres. So how long should the bit be in between? I'll go with 11 because that makes this an easy 20. Not 29, 20 millimeters. There. And if we take a look, we have that. Now, let's see. I'm going to align these two parts. Align the center of that with unset the components. We need it with bodies. There. Okay, that's the start. So next, I'm happy with that. I'm going to create the other end, which is just another sphere. And we'll create here. And it's going to be 9 millimeters again, which it's already set to. We're ready to go. So now we're going to align. Well, actually, first of all, I have to before I do that, modify, combine as a join. I'm going to combine this with that. Okay, so now this is one object. Now I'm going to, come on, doing this constantly, align, and with bodies, this with that. Okay. There it is. That is all it takes to make our arm. Well, we have to do one more thing there. We need to combine this with this. Okay. So that is the arm. Let's save it. Way back when I first started using Fusion 360, one of the first things I made was a mount for a Logitech camera to go on a swinging arm, a lamp arm. So if I open up the files here, here it is, the very first one. I've loaded it up. As I said, this is one of the very first things I built in Fusion 360. But there are parts I don't need here. But I'm going to keep the base because I want to make this a standard, and I'm actually going to use this for the base for a few things. So I've gone ahead and deleted the bits I don't need, and here we go. This is what we're starting with. I already have a base. It's very simple. It's just not that this would be too hard to make. I just want to get in the habit of not remaking things. So it's more of trying to get myself the skill set here. So we're going to need a cylinder on top of this, and then we will do our work to actually hook a ball joint component into that cylinder. Now, the last cylinder we did, the one for the part that screws onto the mic stand, was this one. We made it 20 millimeters high, 10 for the screw and 10 for the base itself. I don't need the screw bit, so it only has to be 10. I'm going to give myself a couple extra millimeters, so I'm going to make it cylinder. It's 12 millimeters high. So I'm going to create a cylinder. I'm going to choose this face, and we'll put it on here. And once again, we will make this. I made it 20 millimeters before. And that gives quite a space for the ball joint to go on there. I'm going to say that I'm going to actually make this one a little bit smaller. We have a sphere that's 9 millimeters on the inside, or on the outside. We need a little bit of tolerance on that, so I'll say 9.2. And then a wall that's a couple of millimeters on top of that. So 11.2 millimeters should do it. So 11.2. I have to watch, make sure the numbers actually come up here, because I've had problems with this numeric pad. I think I'm killing a keyboard here. And how high did I say I was going to make it? We need our 11.2 plus a couple of millimeters for the base, so we'll actually make this 13. Oh, I'll call it 14. Oh, and I screwed up there. Diameter is a good place to do it. This is 11. It gives you a chance to fix your errors. 0.2. 0.2, please. Thank you. And this will be 14. And it's a join. So there it is. That's our starting point. So the next part is to, on this, we're going to draw a sphere. And it will be the part that hollows out this. And this is one that I'm still learning the alignment. I think there's a better way of doing this, but I don't know it yet. And this is going to be, since this is outside, I need a little bit of tolerance, not much, but a little bit. The ball joint that's going to go in there is 9, so I'm just going 9.2. It's fairly tight. I want the friction there. I'm going to be adding more friction in a minute. I want that, and here it is. It's going to be cut, but I need to reposition it a little bit. And actually, I'm going to call this a new body. 9.2. Okay. Why did I make it a new body? I have to reposition it. We're going to move it. And we need to move it. Yes, on the x-axis. And if the center part is 4.5, would put me right in the middle. not really 4.5, 4.6 millimeters would have it embedded right in, but and I don't need it completely embedded, so I need it 3 millimeters and probably -3 millimeters. There we go. So we have a little bit of a lip. I don't think we have enough there, so I'm going to call it 3.5 millimeters there. So this will cut a hole inside for the ball from the arm to go into, and we have a little bit of space for this to rotate out. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to combine these two. I'm going to do modify and combine. I want it to be a cut. So we have that. And we're going to select this. And then our tool is going to be that. And it's going to be a cut. Okay. We now have a hole for our arm. Looks wide at the top, but that's okay. The arm's going to go in. Now there's one more cut I'm going to do to this and a little bit more building. And let me explain why and how this is going to work. Well, we have the basics of our base done, but I have a problem in that I need tension on that arm. So even though if I print it now and there's enough tension now because of the low tolerance I put in there, over time that might loosen up and the camera will flop down. Don't want that. So what I have to do is put a cut in so I can actually squeeze things, and second, put a tab out there with a hole in it that I can put a screw on so I can tighten that screw, and that screw will be what will be able to tighten things up. So there's our part, and what we're going to do here is I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to attach it to this face. I'm going to use a rectangle, and I'm going to use a center point rectangle on here. We'll just draw this out. I know I want this rectangle to be, this will be the outer rectangle. So I'll make it 3 millimeters wide. And I'll make it 7 millimeters long. Oops. It said 37. Don't want that. I want this 7. That looks better. Short little tab. Doesn't need to be any bigger than that. We're good. So this will be the tab. I'm going to stop this sketch, and we'll do our press pull. It's going to be negative. That's 10. Negative would be that key there. And I'll make it 8 millimeters. Good little tab to have on there. And it's negative, and it's going to be join. I'm adding this to it, so I'll say OK. Okay, there's our tab. Next, I'm going to create another sketch, and on the surface, and I'm going to do another rectangle from the center point, and we'll see if this will do it. Yeah, that'll go where I want. This one, I want it to be 1 millimeter wide, and I'll go with this length just as a default. It's there. It works. Okay, we'll stop the sketch, and we'll do another press pull here. this will be another negative. And we'll make this negative. Whoop, negative. I have a problem hitting the negative. Negative 9. No, negative 8.5. And this is going to be a cut. It's already decided that. Okay. So let's look at what we have there. We have a cut. You can actually see the curve of the inside. So we're ready with that. Now I just need a place for our screw to go. Now there is a tool here where you can actually create a hole, but it would only go through the first of our tabs here. I want it to go through both. So let's go to create a cylinder. And since I'm doing an object here, it doesn't have to be a sketch. And how big is it going to be? Well, these are parts left over from my MK2S. So went in there and pulled one of the M10s out of there, and I think I need the hole to be 3 millimeters on that. So I'm going to make it 3 millimeters. That's the diameter, and the height is going to be, see if I can get it first try. Nope. Negative, I'll make it 4 just to be safe, even though it's negative 3. It's cut. And okay. So now I have a hole through both of those. And this is where the iterations will come from that Angus at Maker Muse talks about. I may have to change this tab. It's possible that those will be too weak, or it's too big. It may just not have enough strength to get this done. So we'll print it out and we'll see how it goes. But before I do that, we have a little bit of cleanup work to do. And this is, we'll modify, we'll add a fillet of, let's do this one first. And what about 2 millimeters? That looks good. Okay, I like that. I'm going to leave these as they are, I think. Actually, what am I going to do for my angles here? Let's clean up these ones too. Repeat the fillet on this edge. And we'll go to 2 again. Okay, and then we're going to repeat it again here on that edge, and 2 again. Those are looking good. And leave the bottom. Oh, I guess I should clean that up too. Okay, let's repeat the fillet again. It's going to go on this edge, 2 millimeters, like that one. And let's repeat it here at 2, like that. And what else is there? Oh yes. This looks chunky. So repeat a fillet, and we'll do it on that. There. That's looking better. and I left the base on there square. So this is good. So we're almost ready to put things together, but we got something to do first. This is the very first part. This is the part that threads onto the mic stand. It's not ready to have the ball joint in on this end, so we have to do that. So let's load up our part. There it is. I'll hide the rest of our parts here. This is where our ball joint's going to go. Now, one of our problems is this is 20 millimeters across, which means with a 9mm ball, a couple millimeters on the outside, so 11 millimeters, we will have too thick of a wall here. We got basically 4.5 millimeters of material on each side that we'll have to squeeze together. So first thing we have to do is trim this down some. So we'll create a sketch, and we're going to create it on this plane. We're going to add a couple of our circles on here, and standard C circle on there. First circle, inner one, this will be for the outside of the shell that the ball joint goes on, that being 9 millimeters. I want a little bit of material around there, so we'll make this one 11.5. Almost did that by hand. So there's our first one. We're going to redo that. We'll add another circle. This one goes out to the edge, which is 20 millimeters. There we have our two circles. We can stop our sketch, and we'll do a press pull. Now it's 10 millimeters for the threads. I need at least 1 millimeter material in there as a base. I should leave it 2. So I'll make this, see if I can get this by line, not 9, 8 millimeters negative. That's a cut. There we go. We have the start of our joint. So now that we have that, don't have to do this as a sketch. We just create a sphere, start at the origin, and this one will be, there you go, 9.2. It's not going to be a cut yet. This is going to be a new body. Okay, because now we have to move this new body, and we are going to just drop it down by z-axis. I think we did 3.5 millimeters. There it is. So now we're going to modify, we're going to combine. We got this, it's going to be a cut onto here. Target body is this one. Okay, tool body is that one. Come on, we can do this. There. Now we have the cut. So we have the hole in there for the ball to fit in. We have to add our tab on there just like we did with the base. So what we're going to do here, we're going to start another sketch, and we're going to do it on this face, and I'm going to use once again the rectangle, the center. I'll start it about here. It's going to be 3, not 2, 3. Teach the fingers. And let's try 5. That should be good. Okay, I'm going to stop the sketch, and then we'll do our press pull, and it's going to be a join, And our distance will be, once again, negative. Third try and lucky. What did I do last time? 6. Let's try 6. And okay. How does that look? That gives us a little tab on there. That should work for us. Okay, now we have to put our cut in. So we're going to start a new sketch. Here's the sketch. Here's the face. We're going to do it on. We're going to use another rectangle from the center. I'll place it approximately here. And I'll stretch it out so I have good enough distance here. Thickness will be 1 millimeter again. And length I'm happy with. So we have that. Let's stop our sketch. And now we will do our press pull. And we have that. And it's going to be a negative 6, 7. Let's go 7, not 9. I can get my fingers in there, right? And it is a cut. It accepts that already. So there's our cut. So the cut goes a little bit deeper than the tab. We have our tabs there. We can actually see the sphere quite nicely. And once again, we have to have a hole for our screw. And as mentioned before, rather than doing a sketch on there, we actually created a cylinder, put it on the surface. And it was 3 millimeters. And it is going to be height of, we got 3 there. I'll make it -4, make it safe. -4 as a cut. Okay. And I have one concern already. And that is this area here. That's not a lot of material here. So now we have to move these faces out, add a little bit more material there. So that's a move. And I'm just going to pull it forward, and I'll pull it forward by 1. And I'm going to repeat that over here. I'll just pull it forward. We'll make it 1 again. And there. Those looking better. Now we do our cleanup on here. So we're going to modify. It's going to be a fillet on here. And we'll just grab that. And I used 2 last time. I'm happy with that. And we'll do another one down here. And 2. We have that smoothed out. And we have our edges on here. We just have our 2 on there. Repeat. 2. Repeat. 2. And repeat. 1, 2. There. Now we're ready to assemble things. We've made our 3 parts. Next time we will print them out and see if this will actually work. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell. That'll notify you next time I post a video, and I'll see you next time.